We are live. We are live. We are live. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing great.
Super cool. Well, this is Clint's first time on the show. Clint, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Man, my name's Clinton. I've been fishing my whole life. I got into this crappie fishing maybe about 2 years ago now. And man, I really took a liking to it. I don't. There's something about that thumping and elusive crappie. I fished my whole life and I've caught plenty of bass, plenty of catfish. It seemed like every species I targeted didn't take long. I had them figured out. I'm working on 2 years now on these elusive crappie and still haven't figured them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't figured them out yet neither. But that's what makes it fun to chase them. Every day is a brand new book almost.
Mm-hmm. Clint, where do you fish normally?
Man, I guess if I had to pick a home lake, would be Lake Houston. That's the closest lake. I do a lot of fishing over there because it's close, convenient. But I really like the challenge of trying different lakes, man. There's no telling where I'll be. Anywhere remotely close. Sam Rayburn, Somerville, Limestone, anywhere remotely close, I'll go. I'll go try.
Which one's your favorite so far?
I'm gonna have to say Lake Limestone is probably my favorite.
Okay.
I really like Somerville. As far as numbers, especially bring kids along. I got 2 young kids. They like to go with me every once in a while. I got a niece that really likes to fish, and bringing kids along, that Somerville to me, especially in summertime when they stack up, you can put some numbers in the boat. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I fished Somerville today, and they were scattered pretty good, but the water clarity, I'm not for sure how long it's been off, but it was off. We had to do a lot of moving today to put the sack together. But you know how Houston fish, you got to be real particular on the action you give and all of that. These fish are a little bit more forgiving. And even though it was a tough bite, they were still more forgiving. And that in itself is a treat, getting away from Lake Houston for a little bit. So, Somerville's a good lake. But it's like all other lakes, it can be tough. This morning the wind was a strong southwest, and for a little bit it died down, and then that northwest wind hit, and that's when the struggle really took on. And one thing that I know for sure that stands strong all the time with crappie is weather changes affect them big time. And I think that's what happened today. But like I said, we still got on some quality fish. They all over the place, man. We caught some fish in 8 foot of water, and we caught some fish in 22 foot of water. So they're scattered really bad. But that's the fun part of crappie fishing, and if you ask me.
Does it seem like, and this is just a question about, having answers from different eyes out there, but have you seen anything that would indicate that it's starting to get into that, that good wintertime fishing, or it's still pretty much like fall out there? I know every lake's different in some sense, but
the cooler temps has helped the bite a lot, if you ask me. But it's like I said a while ago, it's just the ups and downs. The ups and downs make them, it puts them in a different ball game.
Yeah.
And constantly having to change, man.
Yeah. Well, my last chance to go out was last Friday, and I went out on Houston, and it was still pretty tore up. Water was still muddy, and I ended up getting 2 fish that would have been keepers to bite. I put one in the boat. The other one, I think it was just a tail nip. It didn't. But I was literally jigging their face, and I would have to thump it up and down 5 or 6 times before I could get any reaction out of them. I think I actually pulled 3 fish up all day. One 12-inch, and the other were just 8s, 9s, real small ones.
Yeah.
Even the catfish were sitting halfway up in the water column, just suspended, not moving.
Right.
Nothing. Bait wasn't swimming. The catfish weren't swimming. I saw one big gar moving around kind of slow, but it was just dead. I packed it in. It was one of those days. The birds weren't even flying. I mean, everything just took the day off.
Yeah.
I'm reading reports. I see people are catching fish. It looks like y'all did really good on Livingston.
Yeah, for the most part, that's a clear water lake than Lake Houston. So if you ask me, water clarity helps those fish be a lot more responsive and aggressive. But I'm gonna say this now: some of them fish on that I got on Livingston, I was trying to hit them with my jig.
Yeah.
I was using a 16th ounce. A few of them I could make, and what I was having to do is hit the fish to make them leave. They would not. Most of them wouldn't bite on the tree. It's like they were nosed into it right there and sleep or something. But what I started doing on the ones that I couldn't get their attention was drop that 3/8 ounce weight down there and hit them and make them leave the tree. And once I got them in open water, it was a caught fish if they didn't just take off running.
Huh.
Yeah.
I noticed that same thing, that when they were tied on the structure, man, they wouldn't hardly do nothing. If you could get them to pull off the structure or suspend above the structure, you had them. That was game. But
now
it just seemed like I never could run across a tournament fish. But that's probably one of my issues on the tournament side of it, is I can't pass up a fish. Like I said, I'm new to it, and I see a 10-inch fish. That's the keeper. That's the keeper fish, and I know he's a 10-inch fish, not a tournament fish. But I got to catch him. I don't know why I can't pass him up.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, one thing that helped me was getting up there that Saturday and just figuring out what a good crappie. I'm gonna tell you, those crappie look. So I would, if it, I don't know what made me drop down there, because I was like, man, I know there's a catfish. But it was so many fish that I was seeing just nose into the tree. Usually a catfish, you're gonna be at an angle on that tree.
Right.
And I was like, I'm just gonna drop down this. And the first fish I dropped down, there was big old fat gut slab crappie. And I was like, well, I guess that's the way they look when they're down there 20 foot. And you got your unit set, 25 to 30 foot deep. And knowing what you're looking at is a big help. Yeah. When you're using live scope. And after that, once I seen that, I just go up to each tree and look. I was like, well, I know it's two good fish right there. So once I seen what they look like, I never dropped on them again Saturday. Okay. And luckily, I will say this: the first 2 areas I've stopped at, 3 areas, because I stopped right there by one, right there by the ramp, totally covered up with catfish. And I was so discouraged. But I was like, man, I got to keep pushing. And once I hit that one stretch of timber and got a good fish in the boat, man, I was locked in. But that's one thing that helped me that day.
How deep were you catching them fish, if you don't mind me asking?
20 to 30 foot.
20, 30 foot. Dang.
Yeah, they're deep.
I caught the fish that I ended up catching, they were probably 25 foot of water, but they were suspended, 14 foot deep, 12 foot deep. And the ones that, like I said, the ones that was off the structure was easy pickings, and I never did bump them off of it. I did, as I say, I'm new to the live scope, new to crappie fishing. I wasted about 35 minutes, I'll admit to it, chasing a Gasper goo around. I got him to pull up above when I finally got his attention, got him stopped, got the bait in front of him. He went above the bait. I was like, oh, I know what that is right then. Once I seen him go above it, man. But learning, right? That's that live scope can trick you, especially if you go looking at different waters.
That's right. Without a doubt.
Yeah, you're not the only one that's done that. I've chased goose down more than I care to admit. I still do from time to time, actually. I did see something. I heard y'all talk a couple weeks ago about how sometimes crappie will actually take cover under those big gar. And I actually saw it happen on my live scope when I was out on Friday. They were just looking for anything that they knew was some kind of cover because the water was so muddy. I just think they were scared to bite anything. They were all thrown off. But
yeah,
I guess when that shadow passed over him, there were two or three just kind of suspended around piles.
Yeah.
And two of them, I guess, saw his shadow and actually went up, just tucked in right behind his tail, and followed along with him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been saying that for a long time. We don't have alligator gar on Houston. Now I will say this: I seen 2 alligator gar on Livingston that I tried to get my phone out of my pocket to take a shot of. On my man, them things are massive,
like 6-7 foot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now I don't think a crappie will hang with him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to eat it.
Yeah. He might get eaten.
He's going to get eaten. But a long nose and a spotted gar, man, if you see an area where they're gar, those gar basically eat the same thing that crappie. They're after the shad. So yeah, if I see gar on Houston, man, I know the crappie are close by.
Yeah. Yeah, because Houston, I think the biggest gar I've seen on my scope on Houston probably went maybe 4.5 feet.
Yep.
Which is still a decent sized fish, but it's it's not what some gar can get to.
Crappie skin cracklings. Ain't that something? Coosy, what's going on, my man? So he just cooked him some skinless whole blackened crappie with skin cracklings. That's something new. I know about the skinless whole fry. That's some good eating, but I'll have to check into the skin crackling. I'm not for sure if he's saying crappie skin cracklings or.
That's how I read it.
Yeah. Hello to everybody over in the chat. I'm using my phone tonight, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm having to do a lot to show you your comments on the screen, but it is what it is. I got one of these little cabins up here on Somerville, and I got 2 trips back to back, so ain't no sense in me driving, an hour and a half back home.
No.
Well, I can get this little cabin here and get rested up and be fully ready to go tomorrow. I'm looking forward. And one thing that I noticed about Somerville is when I do fish it 2 days, one of them days is gonna be off.
Yeah.
So hopefully tomorrow they'll be a little bit more lively. And it's like I say today, the wind was absolutely horrible. And on top of that, it's like we were fishing Lake Houston. You know how them fish get all dug up under the structure?
Yep.
That's just how they were today. In and under.
What depth were you finding them today out there?
We ran from 8 to 22 foot of water.
Okay.
Yep. We caught probably 3 or 4 open water fish. But they're way down there too. But other than that, if you pull up to a pile, and I'll tell you this too about what I'm seeing on Somerville right now, man. They need more catfish guides up here.
Yeah.
Because these catfish, man, are so they have a lot of this, and you can see that they're actually going in and looking, and they're hunting those crappie. And I think that's the reason why they're they're not showing themselves above the pile. Usually I can get away with casting a lot on some of them. That was my plan today. I had a grandfather that I didn't want him holding a long rod all day. That was one thing. I mean, we still had fun, and it would have been a lot easier for him if those fish were, like they usually are, above the brush piles, and they'll chase a jig down that comes across them. But they were so dug in that we just couldn't do it.
Well, actually, I took my niece up there on one of them trips to Somerville fishing with minnows, and we fished. We caught, I don't know, 8 or 10 crappie, and then the big catfish kept swimming over the top of it. She'd see him on the screen. I want to catch one. Well, just put your bait down there. He'll come across there. We ended up catching 6 or 7 of them, on that 6-pound test or them long poles. That's a pretty good fight, especially for a kid. They really like it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he said yes. Crappie skin. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah. So Dwayne was hope the wind is better tomorrow than today. Dwayne and his father-in-law, I want to say, is who I had today.
Okay.
And he let Dad fish all day, and then right at the end, Dad was like, "Yeah, I'm done." And Dwayne jumped on and put a few fish in the boat, and you could just see the excitement, man. It's guiding. You got to be a special person to do it and be keep people happy and not drive yourself crazy. But there's a special satisfaction to. And especially as bad as the wind was today. I mean, towards the end, that wind was gusting. There was some gust. One gust that came in and blew Dwayne's hat all the way off and out the back of the boat.
Wow.
I bet you that gust was 35, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was thinking that 30, 40 miles an hour had to blow a hat off.
That's one thing I learned on that live scope is boat control is super important. Every time I watch videos where boat control, what speed y'all normally run your trolling motor? And saying that high wind for your boat control, is there a certain speed you like? You like to run it high? Do you like to run it low? Or
I like running it low, but I want to control my boat. I don't want the wind to control it. So sometimes I've had it as high as 7, 8, or 9. But that makes it. I mean, sometimes you have to move the boat forward. So it all depends on how bad that wind is blowing, and if it's gusting, it's even worse because you're constantly adjusting that power up and down.
Yeah.
To control the boat.
I've got a Garmin Force, and I prefer to keep it on 2. The second, with just 2 lights lit up. A lot of times on Houston, I have to run it to 3. Sometimes 4, but I've literally had it on 4 just to sit still before. And like he was saying, sometimes you're up 6 or 7. What is there? 10? Is it speed settings go all the way to 10? What's the top number on that SK?
10.
10. So yeah, I mean, if I'm moving around, that's one thing. But if I'm just trying to hold position, I mean, and it's interesting because there's a difference in 2 and 3. Sound wise, 2's a lot quieter.
Right.
Something I've been doing lately with the winds and the way they've been doing is I've been getting to about 20 feet off of a pile and just hit spot lock for a second and just see the way my boat's going to act and the way it's going to want to sit, just depending, because the current's been funny and everything else. So that's a little trick I use. Is I'll just spot lock and let that boat kind of get in a good neutral position and how it's going to set up and then approach at that point. Because there's nothing worse than setting up and you think you're right, and then all of a sudden that rear end spins around on you. And, I mean, it's you got your rod out here and your foot control, and I find that helps prevent a lot of that.
Yep. And if the wind is swirling, it's even worse.
Yeah.
I know that first drop is super important. So
Yeah.
that takes that time to set up previously makes a lot of sense because that first drop is super important.
Yep. So, Major Brown asked, explain what you mean about the goo going above. I think, Clint, was that you that mentioned?
Yes, sir. So what I've noticed on the screen, I might be wrong, but about 90% of the time, look to me, I got to where I can decipher them out when they're by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're grouped up there, they're hard for me to tell. But if that goo, his mouth's on the bottom of his head, so he'll go above that bait to come down on it to hit it. Where at crappie, he's always going to tilt down and come up to the bait to hit it. So that's one way I've noticed it. If they start going above it and trying to come down at it, it's not a crappie.
Right.
Yeah. Shockwave said that he's in Arkansas. Oh, and Greenville, Mississippi. They said their crappie are scattered right now too. I can't read much farther than that.
Holding tight to structure in 18 to 22 feet of water, but as for the shallower lakes, they're schooled up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this thing, I'm trying to use my bifocal so I can read it, but it's so small that it makes it tough.
I can help you
Stay
out.
at them, Shockwave.
I got them young eyes and a bigger screen.
Says if the cold front rolls in, you will have short windows when the crappie would bite, especially the bigger lakes.
That's what I've noticed also. When it's coming in, you got right then at it. When it comes in, you got to lay off a day or two, let it kind of settle back in. Then you can hit them again. What I've kind of noticed with them.
Yeah, any transition, any shift that changes, drastic shift in water temp. And that was another thing on Friday. The water temp had gotten down to 51, and I think when people were really doing well on Houston, not even the muddiness, but it seemed like people were having the best luck when the water temp was around 58. And so when we had a good cold blast come in, so by the time I got out there and that water temp dropped to 51, I'm sure there was a lot at play. When catfish aren't moving and shad aren't moving and everything is dormant and even the birds aren't flying, you're just out enjoying scenery at that point.
Yeah.
I like to call those days boat control days.
Yeah,
I seem to have a lot of those too.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. I tell you what I did do though is I used it. I kind of just put the rod down, secured everything, and then just worked on actually learning how to drive my boat because the boat I'm in now is unlike anything I've ever really driven before. So I got it up to 74.
Woo! That's rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, she was I ran out of room. She had more eating she wanted to do, and I was like, man, I gotta, But yeah, I was out running the cars on 1960.
Yep. Slabs on deck didn't want to join us tonight, but he's
hiding.
Yeah, he says I'm headed back out to Livingston Sunday or Monday. I gotta go get my lake back on that lake. There you go.
Did he get taught a lesson during the time?
He had 5 fish.
Oh, well. That's more than County.
I think we all taught a lesson on that one. You had to be on the right fish, man, and finding the right fish was I've been focusing on deer hunting so much I ain't had much time. I did run up there Saturday and look, and I just didn't run across the right fish.
Livingston is a needle in a haystack lake. There's a lot of water out there.
Yeah. When I first got there, I played around in that bay right there by the ramp. And I was excited to find some fish on that channel edge out there in 40, 50 foot of water.
Mm-hmm.
I tipped out there, and I mean white bass, catfish. I'm quite sure it was some hybrids that I was seeing.
Yep.
And it dawned on me, man, if I'm gonna want some crappie, I need to, my motto is start shallow, work your way deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually doing it backwards when I started. And I had caught a couple of fish in that bay right there by the ramp, and I was like, well, that was about 15 foot of water. And so I got up on that, in the shallows out there by and I checked probably, I don't know, 12 or 15 of those docks out there, and they get so shallow that there wasn't even any bait up on them. So I took that out of the equation. Said, well, I'm gonna look at 15 to 20 foot of water, and found some piles that had some just okay fish, just filleting size fish. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. But I stayed with that depth, and then I got on some timber that was in that depth, and would pan out, looking at the deeper stuff, and that's when I started seeing those fish nosed in to that timber, and that's what helped out.
Mm-hmm.
I was intending to send JJ the link too. I forgot about JJ. See what he got to say. Murdoch said they had 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts there today too. So they kept getting game cam pictures. Just a blur. I finally figured out it was the strap flopping in the wind.
Yeah, I had every intention of putting my boat in the water today, and then I had a guy wanted to do his post inspection walkthrough on his house, and so I had to put that on the calendar, and that was supposed to be at 11 o'clock this morning. 9:53, I got a text, hey, I'm not gonna make it. Had to push it off to tomorrow. So, canceled my trip for the day to do that, and then that ended up getting canceled. It's all right. I got a bunch of packing done for the weekend, but it's the way it goes. Because I was actually, Houston's still pretty muddy. Houston's still pretty tore up. I drove over it today, and it still doesn't look great. I can even handle a heavy stain as long as it's consistent. But I've been kind of tossing I'm going to have an issue not driving all the way out to Houston County again. I want to fish that lake again.
Yeah.
But
it's a fun lake to fish.
I almost thought I was going to find myself on Conroe this week, but no dice. That's all right.
Conroe's been fishing good too.
That's what I've seen. I got to get some more spots marked on that lake anyway.
You and me both.
Mm-hmm.
You and me both over there. I found a bunch of eating fish, which is, great for me. I said, I can't hardly pass them up, but I say a bunch. I don't know, average 15 a trip or so. But
yeah.
I just ain't found the right spot. I ain't spent enough time exploring there.
Yeah.
That boat traffic really, man, I can go to a different lake and not have to deal with it. I'm going to a different lake.
Yeah.
Me and Clint fish Somerville. I'm at Lake Somerville right now. I'm in one of the cabins on Somerville.
Did you stay close to the ramp today, SK, or did you have to venture out farther?
No, we did some riding today.
Okay.
Yeah. I sent you the link. I can't back out now. I'm on StreamYard. If I back out, I think it closes it out or something. I don't know. I don't want to try it though. I know I sent it to you though. Joey, you got access to the link, right?
I do.
Do you have Terry's contact?
I can. Yeah, I'll be able to get it to him. Terry, I'm gonna send it to you on Messenger.
Yeah, one area that lake that on Livingston, looking at the map and that I really wanted to get into, I run up there Saturday to I guess Kickapoo Creek. It's pretty common herd. I run up there, man. There was some fish there, but I didn't find nothing that I felt was tournament fish. Nothing more than what I had here. And then Saturday morning, got there and that fog was so thick. I said, man, I'd rather I'll just catch what I can catch here.
Yep.
Take a chance on it.
That fog was thick, man.
Man, it lasted till 12, 1 o'clock.
That's what I was telling everybody.
Yeah, it was. How them crappie eat?
I had some yesterday, and the flavor was okay. Y'all sort of skeptical because they got all the bands and stuff, but it's rare that you see even some of the more toxic lakes. It's rare that you see crappie on the list. They just don't live long enough to get the toxins in
to
them.
absorb it. Yeah, they're still not on that PCB list in Livingston, are they?
Yeah. It's rare that you see them on there. There is a couple lakes in DFW that they're saying you don't eat no fish out of it, but those are super toxic from what I hear. But those fish are nice, really healthy fish though, man. I'm talking about even the smaller fish, super thick. I'll definitely be back on that lake. But it's like I say, it totally scares me because, and I will say this too. This is something that I feel helped me out too. So the first thing I was doing was going to areas that was marked flooded timber on my unit.
Mm-hmm.
And I found 3 areas that wasn't marked on my unit of flooded timber. And those areas all had good fish on them.
Okay.
And I know it sounds selfish, but sometimes you got to go where others don't go.
Mm-hmm.
And all the areas that I went into, I didn't see no boats. And it just was looked out of the way. Everywhere I see other boats running, where I was going was in a different direction. That Saturday I hit probably 3 trees because man, I'm still idling, but I hit 3 trees in areas that wasn't marked. That wasn't marked that Saturday, and those areas, excuse me, those areas had fish in them.
Are you running Garmin that's just driving also 100% Garmin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed. I jumped on a friend of mine's boat with the Garmin at the console, and it was showing flooded timber like on Lake Limestone. I was telling him, "Hey, around this corner, there's flooded timber," and it sure enough pulled it up on there. I'm running the Humminbird with the maps card, but it still ain't showing it on the Humminbird map.
Yeah,
it showed a lot more detail, especially on that lake on timber.
Yeah. I was on Limestone yesterday. Had a really good friend that wanted to take his boat because he's never been on Limestone either.
Limestone or Livingston?
Huh?
You were on Limestone or Livingston?
Limestone.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was telling him, man, it's my first time ever going to say that's what's going to make it fun. And we got out there and scanned around, and the wind again was absolutely horrible for that lake. I mean, it blew straight up and down. At every cove we went into, it would, we get on a water's totally flat, and as soon as we get up there and get set up, the wind would change direction, and it'd be white capping coming down that bank. But we still found some good fish. Learned the lake a little bit, and had a good time out there. And we got our better fish off the timber, but we did a lot of brush pile fishing too, and caught some good fish off of that too. But the bigger fish was coming off the flooded timber.
I believe I'm gonna run up there Friday and try it out. That's kind of what I was gonna go. I don't know. I like the wintertime up there before they spawn out. It seems like you can I don't know. You can catch some good crappie out of that lake.
They're
just
super
like
thick.
everywhere else. They seem
Yeah.
to have some big white crappie in there.
Uh-huh. They're super thick. Yes, sir. Oh, here we go. He just showed up.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, my man?
Nothing much. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Hanging in there.
Good, good.
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Here's a guy that asked
He's so good he dropped out.
Tequila Sunrise. Says, what's the average weight on a 16-inch guy? That greatly depends on the lake. Did he drop out?
Yeah, Lake Houston 2.5, 2 3/4.
Yeah.
Depending on time of year too, seems to make a difference too.
Big time.
Yeah, because that's gonna touch 3 in January on Lake Houston, a 16-inch fish that's full of eggs.
Yeah.
My biggest fish today was 16 to date was 16.5 inches long, but he broke 3.2 blackfish.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What lake?
Man, it's a little hole in the wall. It's called Pearl Lake.
Hey,
no,
can't
it's
tell.
Hey, that's the only fish I caught all day. Me and the boy fished 8 hours there. We caught one fish. That's it.
Yeah, that's that lake no can tell.
Yeah.
No can tell. That's a long way. Nobody will find it. It's a little bit hole in the wall. Small lake.
Yeah. Terry, how did Livingston treat you, buddy?
Treated me all right. treated me better than any one of these other Texas lakes. I can tell you that much. Yeah. Like SK said, like the bite changed from one day to the other. We were casting on them Saturday.
Yep.
And fishing off timber on them Sunday. So
yeah, I forgot to mention that a while ago, and early morning I usually start with the long rod because they usually don't chase really well until the sun get up, and it's just like here on Somerville today. We started with the long rod because I was like, yeah, we wait till the sun get up, then we'll be able to cast. And the early morning vertical jigging bite was fire, and then the sun broke the surface and those fish just started digging in. I was like, I don't think casting's gonna work. Not with them going deep into the structure. So, and just like on Livingston, man, that Saturday, you could tell that those fish were because if you swing your jig, you'll pitch it out and let it fall to them. They'll be more aggressive with that jig going horizontal. But as soon as you start raising it, you get a lot of turnoffs. And that's when I backed up and started casting to them, and they were smoking the jig. And then get back out there Sunday and nothing.
All vertical.
Yep. Having to hit them with a sludge hammer up on top of the head to wake them up.
Yeah.
I felt like Lake Houston there for a second. I was like, man, I got to put it right on top of them.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually caught most of my fish off of brush though, and about 20 to 25 foot of water. That's where most of mine came from, off of brush piles, little bitty small brush piles that you would normally pass, and they were very small.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, right next door to it.
That Slab B said he know of a lake. Man, I got to go pee. Wayne, what's going on, my man? How deep did you get your fish, Ken?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
I can now.
Yeah. I got most of my fish off a brush pile, around 20 foot of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's real. I'm on my cell phone tonight, and it's. If you see me turn my head like this, I'm trying to get closer to my speaker, but I got it jacked all the way up. I can barely hear.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, most of mine came off a little brush pile you could barely see. I couldn't really get to docks because it was just every dock I passed was shallow. Like I was marking docks on at the captain and looking on Google Earth or whatnot and label them as deep docks. But when I got to those docks, they were, it'll go from 17 feet to 6 feet, like in 5 feet, you know.
About 50
That's
foot
how,
off the bank. It jumps
Mhm.
up to 4 to 6 foot, and it'll hold a flat, and then it's 1-2 feet on under some of those boat docks, those boat lifts out there.
There were some creeks I went in the middle. If you stayed in the middle, it was about 18, 19 feet. And then, I mean, the docks weren't 100 yards from each other on both sides. And, you get off that little middle path and it just goes right up to 3-4 feet of water. I couldn't believe it. It's like they dredged that lake out in that creek like a V. And that's just how it worked. I mean, when you got up on them docks, it was no need of going that any closer because it wasn't gonna be no fish in 3 feet of water in the dock. You know, so that killed my plan of looking at docks altogether. But I did find a lot of brush off from the dock, in 17 foot of water. So then I started thinking like maybe, a lot of people like to sink stuff like in front of the docks. So I started trying to look in front of docks, about 15 to 20 foot of water. That's where I got them at.
Cool. Yeah, I did a lot of island that Saturday. Moved around a lot, and it helped.
Yeah.
It helped. One thing that I'll tell you, I was surprised that water was as clear as it was.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know Livingston was that clear.
Get up north there, it'll get a little dingy too, but nothing like Houston.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I've done some catfishing up there, like White Rock Creek and all that. That's a place I'd like to get back to and look at now that, with live scope and technology now, it's got to be some crappie in that area.
Yeah.
I haven't made it back up there.
Yeah, it's hard to get anybody to talk about it though.
Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, they'll show you some pictures. That's it.
Yeah.
I know one guy up there that he'll go out there himself and catch some crappie, but he won't guide on there because he don't want people to know where he's catching the fish.
Yeah.
He'll go everywhere else and guide. He won't guide on Livingston.
Is that the one that I think he even posted not too long ago? Like he'll take 2 or 3 different people on guide trips on Livingston, but he guides other lakes. I don't remember what page I saw it on, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I
forget his name, but
yeah, you were talking about, and I had totally forgotten about it, but when we fished Houston County, the fish that were on structure, they wouldn't bite, but the school that was on a pile every few minutes would come off of it, ball up, and go chase bait. And as soon as they would ball up and get out in the open water, I could cast to them and get them to bite. And then I'd follow them to the structure. And if they were in structure, they wouldn't. They'd move out of the way of the jig. They wouldn't even look at it.
Yeah. Those fish on that lake were, for me, they were spooky. But I may have been running my trolling motor too high. But the wind was so bad that morning that to move you had to run your trolling motor high. But some of them open water schools that I seen that morning, I'm talking 50 foot away. Them jokers, you can see them. You can see that tail.
Yeah, take off.
They taking off. And I was like, man, I can't cast this little bit of jig no 50 feet.
Yeah.
But right now I got a casting rod with some 6-pound mono on it. I think I can sling that out there.
Yeah, I run 4 on mine.
Oh, really?
Yep, I run a 4-pound strand on mine.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I usually do 10-pound braid. But you can usually if I'm casting, I'll be set up about 30 foot from them with the fish at 20 foot. I have my unit at 30 and the fish at 20. And try to get the client or myself to cast at 25. That way you see the drop and can follow the jig to the fish and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of setup you like to cast with? Kind
just
of
a spinning reel.
setup.
Spinning reel. I use it's a super lightweight Denali 6.6. So Denali Prime 6.6 with a spinning reel. And I run straight braid all the way to the jig on that one. I use that 10-pound braid. And I hadn't had them to get nowhere to be line shot, but that jig is moving, so I don't think they pay attention to the line if you're getting a reaction bite.
They're coming up from behind it anyway.
Yeah.
I just went and I have another ultralight pole that I haven't set up yet. It's one of them ugly green ones, but
it must be that good one.
Yeah. It says ACC on it. But actually what I've been using is I was walking through Bass Pro Shops one day and they had their signature series. I think it's Premier Elite or something like that. They had them on sale as a combo for like $75, which a lot of people don't know this, but if it says Bass Pro Shops, Johnny Moore's signature anything, it's actually a Lew's. Made by Lew's, and so it's a good product. But I grabbed 2 of those walking through the store that day, and I initially had them running that 10-pound mad braid on them, and I don't know if it's just user error or what, but it's real easy to get that braid to get wrapped up around the tip if you're not real careful with it.
Yeah.
And I get excited and I get jerky. So, I was shooting myself in the foot a lot of times with it. So I peeled that off and just put a good 4-pound mono on it and solved a lot of that problems. And the only thing that's broke off so far is I hooked into a pretty decent striper on Somerville. When I was casting the crappie, a school of them came through and it came through and intercepted my jig. He just peeled off with it and, snapped it like it was nothing. But
wow.
But I've been good with it so far. Yeah, that was crazy that morning because I was casting the crappie and all of a sudden all around my boat, the water just started boiling. A school of them came through and were just tearing up shad that were all around me. It was when that fog rolled in. Remember when that bad fog rolled in on Somerville? Yeah, they started hitting the top. I guess the shad came up and that school of stripers started working it and stole my jig.
Yes, sir. C219, what's going on, man? Tell you what, I'm liking moving around. My motto has always been I'm not gonna drive past crappie to go catch crappie.
Mm-hmm.
But man, just the challenge of it, it's a lot of fun. And to me, I think it helps you get better. Especially like this, Somerville, man, it has so little protection from the wind that it makes you get better with your boat control. It's like I was telling Dwayne today, it's man, look, we gonna have to point the boat in the wind, and that's what we're gonna have to do. And he made that mention. I was saying, whenever I got 2 clients on the boat, or one for that fact, if I'm gonna make some quick moves, I always say, hey man, you got your balance, or hey, I'm gonna run hot. I'm gonna say something that like that, because when you run that troll motor hot, if you got somebody else on the boat, man, you could toss somebody there pretty quick. And keeping that boat into the wind is so critical. It's just like you mentioned a while ago, hitting spot lock and let the wind force the boat to face into it.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. And like Clint was saying, that first drop on that fish is the most critical one, especially if it's a big fish. Sometimes you can get them to recommit, but it seems to me that they're never as committed as on that first go round.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you don't get it all the way and he short strike it, and you yank on that bait, you might as well call it a day.
I agree.
Roll to the next one.
Go to your next
agree.
fish.
I definitely agree.
I learned that lesson the hard way on that crappie fest up there last year. I had a couple of good fish found. Sure enough, go back the next day and there's one there. I was like, man, I got him. Good, solid fish. Got excited, and pulled it away from him that time, man. I spent 2 hours messing with that fish. Ain't caught nothing on him.
Yeah, she was done.
Yeah, for sure. And I knew that too, but I just couldn't make myself pull off of him.
Yeah. It's
What
hard.
was the weight of your fish at Crappie Fest?
What was that?
What was your fish weight at Crappie Fest?
I believe I ended up trying to shoot for an even, like 175. I was 160 or something like that. I didn't have nothing close to 2 pounds.
Yeah, I didn't make 2 pounds myself either. You fishing it again this year? Y'all, are we fishing it again this year?
Yep.
That's in
Joey?
March or April?
March.
Very end of March. Yeah.
I really liked it, man. It was a real nice change of scenery to get a fish to chase 3 foot, 4 foot. That fish would come up there and smack it.
Yep. To react, that jig ain't gotta be nowhere close to that fish. And that joker, you'll see him turning. We not used to that type of action down here.
No. They don't even know that bait's alive 3 or 4 foot away.
Exactly.
Up there, man, you can see it, like I said, 3 or 4. I'd stop that bait way ahead of them, man. They'd start coming up there towards us. Dang.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, those guys, I don't like saying they got it easy, but they got a lot better than I got it down here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. They got 2. I think they got 2 tournaments. I need to see if Travis will come back on here. Because I think they changed it up. They're gonna have 2 different tournaments. I think one's gonna be. I'm not sure if it's 5 fish or whatever, but there's gonna be 2 tournaments, 2 different days. So I got that whole week marked off.
Is it because it's getting so big? There's so many boats, or what are they?
Well, the Crappie Fest tournament is still just the Crappie Fest tournament, but the other one is an add-on.
Okay. Is that going to be
from what I hear?
Stringer?
Huh?
Is that going to be just like a standard 5-fish stringer tournament?
I think so.
Okay.
That's why I'm not sure how many fish, but I think it's just like a regular tournament.
Gotcha.
I think they've added a fish fry, one of those nights. I think it may be Friday night. It's a big fish fry they're throwing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be free.
Crappie Slayer, what's going on? Atmore, Alabama. Thanks for joining us. Here's Dale. What's going on, Dale?
They call that city Atmo. They don't say Atmore. They say Atmo.
Oh, Atmo?
Atmo. I knew a girl from there. She said Atmo.
Oh, what did I call it?
Atmore. You said it right, in my opinion.
Oh, Damien, what's going on, man? You say, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, I went yesterday. I went in Liberty, and the wind could not make up his mind which way it wanted to blow. Yeah, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Squiddo.
Thanks, bro.
Clint, you say you going to Limestone this coming weekend?
Yes, for Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
We still got one more deer hunt for the weekend, but the boy don't get out of school till about 3:30. So
Okay.
I figure I get up there daylight, make a good run at it, and then when he gets out of school, right up there and try to finish up deer hunting.
Yeah.
Clint, are you
Cool.
here in Huffman? Do you live here in Huffman?
I live in Splendor,
Oh, okay.
right up the road there. Yes, sir.
You said you were close to Houston, so but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
to
right
me-
down the road.
Yeah, I grew up in New Caney, so I fished that lake a whole bunch when I was younger, man. A bunch.
Yeah.
But I never did crappie fish. I see them guys, you talk about people being tight-lipped. Back in the day, Lake Houston tight-lipped, man. I
Yeah.
see them guys come to the ramp, they have a stringer full of crappie. I go
Mhm.
try to go crappie fish. I might catch one or two, that's
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, it was a different lake back then.
Dale
Definitely.
say he went to Rayburn last weekend. Lots of far sticking up with the lake. Oh wow, 10-foot low.
Mm.
Did a
Wow.
lot of marking and tracking. Caught some fish too. That's what's up. Rayburn a long ways away though.
Yeah, it's not that much further than. I mean, we're driving 2 hours now. It's
Yeah,
not.
Limestone is 2.5 from me.
Yeah. Well,
Almost 3.
I actually, I'm on the northeast side, so I'm a little closer to Rayburn than.
Hey, check out JR's comment. He gonna be deadly out there now. He got him brakes.
Join the
There
break
we go.
club, JR.
That's a
Game changer right there, buddy.
Yeah, JR.
Makes a big difference. I feel lost without him, man. I'm telling you, it's
That's right.
not having to turn that front trolling motor to stop your boat or back. I mean, it just makes so much. And I got so fed up with when I did turn it away, and you turn back and the fish is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, they blows them out.
Prop
Wash them out.
washed and ran them off.
Especially,
I didn't see a report. I wonder how he did.
especially on them suspended fish, like
Mhm.
early in the spring or later in the spring after they spawn. And suspended fish, man, I'd run up there and wash them out all the time. I'm pretty bad about trying to cover water, so I run. That's why I was asking y'all about the trolling motor, how hot you run it, because I like to run mine really hot. Like I don't hardly ever take it off 9 most of the time.
Okay, you running?
What troll motor you running?
I run the old tracks.
Okay.
They call the old tracks.
See, the thing from my experience, I was Jeff is who I was with yesterday. He got old tricks too, and do you notice a delay when you hit your go button?
Yes, sir. The newer model, that seemed like the older one I had, absolutely no. You hit the button, it's going. But then the newer model, that seems like it's got to build up, or I don't know what the delay is.
Yeah. So anytime I'm on somebody's boat, that I always got to run that troll motor a lot hotter than I do. That Gorman gonna snatch you. You'll throw somebody out of your me. I think they got to update to where it's soft starts, but I don't want a soft start. When I hit go, I want it to go. But and the Minn Kota will do the same thing, but you got to run it hot to make it excel faster.
That's what I noticed. I don't know what happened with the new one. The older one I had on the old G3, absolutely no problem. You hit the button,
Yeah.
you're going.
Yep.
Always the Ghost though. You got to do a lot of updates on those, or that's kind of what I hear.
No,
You got to
I'm not.
keep it updated.
I won't do it. I won't do one. I've heard. I've heard that once you get to, I forget what update it was. That troll motor almost shut down when they put a new one out. So it'll once you update it, it'll force you to constantly do the updates. So I've never updated mine, and it's been doing great. I mean, spot lock immediately you hit that down. I will say you this: if you're going forward and you hit spot lock, it's gonna back you up and then come back forward.
Yeah.
And they got updates that fixed it, but I'll deal with that because I don't want them putting out an update and I'm out there and my troll motor screws up just because it knows there's a new update.
Yeah, I haven't had that issue. The only time I did anything was just on the setup with mine. I don't know that I've put any. I don't know that mine's actually had an update. As far as that goes.
Yeah, Clint, what unit you run on the front of your boat?
Man, I got a 106 SV. And like I said, when I got into it, bud, I know zero people that crappie fish. When I got into it, I said I want to get something. You know, I might not like it, whatever it is. So I got the most budget friendly I can do. I still running the 32. And I am going to upgrade to an 86 series. I've got on a couple boats with the 8600 series, and man, it's night and day difference. It's
yeah,
you can really pick some detail out.
Yeah, well, what I see, I can fish that 106 all day, but the processor is slower. So, say for instance, you want to save, go between screens or save a waypoint. It takes a little bit. But on that 86 series, when you push, it goes. There's almost zero delay.
Yeah, that's definitely an upgrade that I'm working on. But whew, they're proud of them too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's an investment.
Has anybody heard of anybody getting the 166 yet? That's the new 16-inch Echo map.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I think I'm gonna just go with 8616.
You know they got that I forget the numbers on it, but it's a 16-inch unit too. Think a couple grand cheaper than the 8616.
Is it the 1643?
But it's a GPS map too. I think it was 1643 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't need the maps. I don't know if I'm ready to get rid of hummingbirds. I really like their side scanning now, and I like their map and how it can break down. That's, to me, that's what I grew up fishing, right? That's what I'm used to. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep hummingbird on the front end as far as mapping. All I'm going to need it for is live scope. That's it, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does your hummingbird have like that autopilot to your trolling motor?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can just punch in a waypoint and your trolling motor will take you there.
Yes.
I do think Humminbird has a better GPS still than Garmin. Like the chart side of it is more accurate. Garmin, you got to be moving to kind of get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I've got the extra I've got that puck on mine that's supposed to make it a lot more accurate for the actual GPS on it.
Yes. Yeah.
And is it better than the last boat I had? Yes. Is it where I'd like it to be? No. You know, sometimes I look like I'm south of a pile and I end up going and I've already passed it. You know what I mean? Because it's just got to catch up. So.
Yep. Their Humminbird side scan is still better too. It's
yeah.
King.
Yeah, even Lawrence. I mean, the side imaging, that I think all of the companies got it. Simray, I mean, all of them.
Yeah.
But now you
I think it's a lot of what you get used to looking at, man.
That too. But I will say this: that far-facing sonar, man, Gorman is ahead by about 12 miles.
Mm-hmm.
By a long ways, for sure.
Yep. Damien, did you do the Kraken offer a foot control? I've never looked into it. That's a saltwater version.
Oh, gotcha.
Of the Gorman.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree, Dale. I agree.
For sure.
JR says the puck only helps the GPS find north instead of having to scan for north.
Okay.
Cool.
The difference between the 8616 and the 1643 probably doesn't have anything to do with resolution. It's probably some kind of feature, right? Just some kind of wireless or something.
Yeah, it's connections on the backside, the most part. Everything else is identical, from what I've read.
So,
but
16, what's that?
It's a couple of connections on the back of it that I bet you I've never plugged anything into.
Sure.
That the 86 or the 1640 or 4316, however it is, don't have that the 86 has.
Okay.
Prices are almost identical too.
Yeah. And you save yourself about $2,000.
Depending on who you buy it from. I see one here. I see the 8616 and the what's that other one? 1643. Both of them to $4,600.
8616, 46.
Mm-hmm.
That's a $6,000 unit. That should be $59.99.
Yeah.
Hodges,
well, $6,000
Marina.
or something now. They went up $200.
Did they?
Yep.
Hodges Marina got them $46.79, 82.
Huh? What website?
Hodges Marina. Hodges Marine.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I've ordered from them before too. They're really good. Them and what's the other one? Shoot. Go ahead. I got to think about it.
Damien says, I think it has all the bells and whistles to attach, but I didn't want it. I have the one with the transducer on the motor. Cool. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. I'm pooped. It was a fun day yesterday. Fun day today. Gonna be a fun day tomorrow. Hoping the next day be a fun day too. But I really do appreciate y'all coming on. Clint, man, if you have time, dude, you're more than welcome. Just hit me up if you have time to come on. All we doing is sitting there talking about crappie. So,
man, I'm all about learning, and that's one thing I really like about the crappie trail, man. I get to meet a lot of people that crappie fish and learn different techniques, how they fish it, man. Like I said, I come into it, I don't know nobody at crappie fish. I just watch a bunch of your YouTube videos and other YouTube videos, and and I'm not very tech savvy, so I got to get my hands on it and try it, and get out there. And man, it's a great fun sport, and that's one thing. Like I said, I've been fishing my whole life, and I've fished catfish trails, I fished bass trails. I've done a lot of bass fishing, and the crappie community is outstanding. I mean, I know it's not back in the day. It was a lot of tight lip, but man, I've learned a lot of information, and I don't mind putting my footwork in, looking for myself. And really, I like to find my own stuff, anyways. But
right,
just the information that's out there is And like that little crappie trail, man, everybody telling how they caught them, or it's a whole different way to break down a new lake. That's
Right.
And that's what I like to do. I like to travel new lakes and try different stuff out. I mean, you never know. I never know what. I've been wanting to try to find a lake here local that you can shoot docks for them crappie. I don't know. Conroe?
Sometimes. I know of sometimes even Lake Houston, but you got to know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. I'm learning on that lake. That's
it ain't many on Lake Houston. I only know of 3, and they spread out like crazy. One around Mid Lake, one up north, one down south. All the rest of them 1.5 to 3 foot of water.
Yeah.
Oh heck.
And these barely got 6 or 7 foot on them. But sometimes they hold, especially super hot summers.
Mm-hmm.
They get in that 6 or 7 foot of water in that shade. But it ain't very many docks like that on Lake Houston. But Conroe, you can. The bad thing about Conroe is if it's full pool. If it's full pool, those folks over there, they put them double boards along the side of their docks.
You can't get up under them,
and you can't get up under them. Yeah, they put them sideboards off in the water. But dock shooting's a lot of fun. When I was in DFW, man, we did a lot of that. Man,
I've yet to catch
buddy,
one. I've yet to catch one doing it. And I'm gonna eventually do it. I'm gonna catch one doing it. I haven't done it yet though. I'm going to.
Yeah. You cast much?
Yeah, in the summertime. I cast a bunch in the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
What rods you use? What setup you use for that?
Man, throwing a blank now. I got a spinning reel. I've never been a spinning reel person, but I've been trying it. And what's the name of the rod? Drawing a blank right now. I'll think of it here in just a minute. But
all right.
It's a 6'6" rod. Light action rod with a spinning reel. Now, if I'm not 100% positive, I know it's a Bass Pro Shop spinning reel, but I'm pretty positive that if it says Johnny Morrison, they got a lifetime warranty. I know on the rods they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the rod probably a Johnny Morrison also. I'd have to look at it to see, but
yeah.
Just for the fact that I'm pretty bad, I'm pretty rough on equipment, so I'll have it tore up, broke, whatever, and take it back and get a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually broke one of my Denali's last week on Conroe. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I've been dogging these rods out, and finally caught. I bet that fish was 1 3/4 pound, big old black crappie, and went to swing it in the boat, and that little old bitty pencil thin rod broke on me, and I just sit there and shook my head and said, that's what it took to finally break it. So now I know that if I see one that's, pushing 2 pounds, I might have to use my net. But I like them. I mean, it's crazy. You use them long rods with that weight, and then you use that 6'6", little ultralight, man. I wish we could fish like that all the time.
Yeah.
It's just that light.
Mm-hmm. That's a B&M, by the way. B&M pole's what it was. That's what it was.
Okay. Yep. Jerry, what you use to cast?
You know what I use to cast?
Oh, well, you ain't gotta say it. You ain't gotta say it.
Yeah, I use a 6 foot And my favorite casting length is an 8-foot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just feels good, and I can cast it much further. Because for me, when
Okay.
I'm trying, back in Georgia, when I'm casting the fish, I'm staying 35, 40 feet off of them, and I'm
Oh,
casting
wow.
35, 40
You
feet.
use mono or braid?
I use braid, braid, 10-pound braid to a 8-pound leader,
Okay.
8-pound mono leader.
Yeah.
Yep. And do that, and then when I'm shooting docks, it's a 5.5 footer to a 6 foot. Um, and we'll go out some days and just shoot docks all day long.
Huh. How deep?
Yeah. My favorite dock shooting lake is Wise Lake in Alabama. Their docks are 15, 20, 25 feet. All their
Wow.
docks. It's dock
Wow.
after dock after dock after dock. And it's so easy to shoot because they're those wooden beams and no floating docks out. And the distance from the top of the dock, especially in the winter, to the water is like 3, 4 feet. So I mean, you can almost just flip under them. And sometimes we do that all day long.
Hmm.
Catch a crop. Just go from dock to dock. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have none of them down here. I don't know of not a one lake with a 20 foot of water up under. In DFW, me and Catching used to fish this lake, and it was one dock that probably had 15 foot of water up under it. And I mean, that's the dock that I caught that what I call a 3-pound fish, but he didn't have a scale in his boat. It was a really big fish.
Mm-hmm.
But I put it back because I didn't have access to a scale and nothing like that. I didn't want to kill it and it not be 3 pounds. But that's it that I know of.
Yeah. Alabama is a lot of people don't know, but Alabama is really hilly. It's a really hilly state. And Texas
Yep.
is really flat. So I can see why y'all don't have a lot of docks. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can go to Alabama, say Gunnersville, and fish next to 30, 40 foot bluff walls. I'm talking about your boat is touching the bluff wall and you fishing 20, 30 feet down, you know. So, and the bluff wall is 20 feet above your head. So that's just how hilly,
Mhm.
Alabama is. So it's nothing to have a lake full of docks and all of them are in at least 15 feet of water. You
Mm.
know, so those crappie just migrate. I mean, I fished a tournament. Me and a guy, we won a tagging tournament, and all we did was dock fish the entire day. So
That's cool.
that's fun, man. It's really fun. Shooting docks. That's maybe my second favorite outside of casting. Dock shooting is it's freaking fun. It's like hunting, like shooting a bow and arrow to me.
Yeah. That's what I was telling Dwayne today that casting it's my favorite way of catching them right now.
Yeah.
I love vertical jigging too, but man, it's something special about the challenge of casting that jig the right distance in the line of your transducer and then getting that jig down there to entice that fish.
Yeah, it's definitely a precise game.
Yep. And you
Um,
usually always get to feel the thump
yeah, and it's a longer fight,
and a longer fight.
Mhm.
and it's a little bit more forgiving than vertical jigging too, because you're so far out. You get so much more
Yeah.
Yeah.
scope for
It's
your
it's
bait.
yeah, it's wider. The cone's
Yeah,
wider.
yeah. So
Well, hopefully in the morning these old crazy Somerville fish will open the door for some pitching or casting. They're a lot more aggressive when they do that, but when they get dug in that structure, it's like they search out a safe spot from the catfish and go to sleep.
Yeah. I noticed the moon was up till about 10 o'clock this morning too.
It was up a long time today.
Mhm.
Yesterday too.
Which the
Yep.
last time it did that and I got to fish, it actually was good. I noticed the fishing was it was a good bite till later in the morning than what I had
Yeah.
seen without it. The longer the moon stayed up, the longer they would go, and that was summertime, you know, or when it was still warm.
Yeah, Major Brown said they moving a lot of those 166s.
I think you can actually record. I think you can record on those 166s now too. I think that's, for somebody who shoots YouTube and something like that. I think that was my thing. I wanted something I can record on, and I think you can record on those 166s. And they're going to be a lot cheaper than the 8616 too.
Yeah.
$600.
What are you saying, Joey?
I mean, I'm just saying it's only $600. You're already spending $4,000 on a unit. I mean, at some point you got to look at the relative, nature of the price. Yeah, I get $600 is $600. I get it, but if you're talking 4,200 versus 4,800, I'm sure the resolution looks really good with a 16-inch unit and the Echo Map Ultra 2. I've got two 12-inch units. They're great units. I'm not knocking them, but it's not like that 4K LCD that's on SK's boat. That's for sure.
You mean that 40-inch flat screen?
Yeah.
Wow. Kenneth said that Lake Belton is deep too. I've been on that lake one time, and the guys I was on there with were not into crappie fishing. They were into skiing. And I did catch one crappie out of that lake, but they wanted to go ski. So BRTP says how deep and what color are they biting on? I actually used a hand tie today. The old speckled minnow came in.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I caught a few on Gray Ghost on Sunday. Hand tie. So caught a lot on. I actually used minnows on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was not going to be denied
Ha!
on Sunday.
You catch any catfish?
I did. I caught catfish. I caught white bass. I caught striped bass. Everything is a minnow.
Yeah. Yeah, my confidence is so much higher in a jig right now than a minnow. I used minnows that on that one trip, man. It was like, yeah, I can't do it. Just couldn't do it. JR, you're totally correct. Terry, I think all the Ultra 2 can. I'm not sure if they record live scope though. Maybe so.
I know the 166s does.
Yeah,
that's what they've been promoting them on.
My 126s can. I don't know that I've ever seen that feature, but
Birch Creek. SK, do you like fishing Birch Creek Old Pier? Where's Birch Creek at? I don't know what Birch Creek is. Is that on Somerville? It sounds like I know it is.
Sound like it's on Somerville.
Yeah, it's on Somerville somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I ain't never been there. I do fish some around Big Creek, but not Birch. I didn't know they had a pier over there. Okay, JR say they are helm capable.
Yep, Birch Creek is on Somerville.
Yeah, he says on Somerville. Y'all, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm whooped. I get cleaned up. Give me some sleep.
Yep, you got a long one coming.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully a short one. You've had a long one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wish that on you.
I appreciate y'all coming on. Everybody in the chat, I really do appreciate y'all. Unless y'all got something else, I gotta be respectful. If y'all got something else you want to throw out there, you can.
No, I'm good.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right. As we always say, we'll catch y'all next week. Same time, same flavor. Peace.